as the sun transits into the sign of Capricorn, please don't do anything auspicious for the next 2 days. Why? Because when the sun transits from one sign to another, which is known as Sankraman or Sankranti, then it so happens that the sun moves through the Rashi Gandant, that is through the last degrees of the Rashi. When any planet is posited in the last degrees of a Rashi, it so happens that it is incapable of giving great result. And so all the Shastras say that one should not be doing any auspicious act during the first 2 days when the sun is transiting through a Rashi, beginning to or ending of its transit. Having said that, it's a very auspicious time as sun moves through the northern hemisphere. The sun is inclining towards the northern hemisphere, and hence we find a lot of energy vibrant in the northern hemisphere. Now, what happens during this period? Well, during this period, it so happens, what happens is, as you will see in all you do, in all that you understand, that the earth now starts to come out of its hibernating state in the northern hemisphere, and everything starts to grow, to proliferate. You would see the birds, you would see the animals, you would see the plants, and so we also receive a new dose of energy. And as the sun moves towards its highest point, that is the northern hemisphere, in the northern hemisphere, the sign of Aries, it gains strength. And in fact, when sun moves in the Makar Rashi, it is Digbali as per the Kalpurush Kundli. And so it's a very strong sun that has begun its journey towards its highest point. And this is the time when all your expressions, for the last 6 months, all of us have been in a state of hibernation, feeling the cold, not putting a lot of things out there, conserving our energies in terms of looking inwards, seeing what we can do, how we can express ourselves. So now it's the time for all that outward expression to come on display, to come on the forefront. So now, when we talk about the Surya Sankraman, is this Surya Sankraman or the Sankranti good for all Rashis? Well, it is good for all Rashis because, or Lagnas, because Sun is the father of the universe, our universe actually. So it will always do good for all of us. But I repeat that there are certain Rashis who will benefit more, or Lagnas who will benefit more. One thing that is, we talk about it as we talk about the year of the sun. What is the year of the sun? This year, 2026 is said to be the year of the sun, because if you add the numbers 2 plus 2 plus 6, then we get the number 10, which essentially adds up to 1. 1 is, as we know, the number of the master. We know it's the number of the boss. It is the number of sun, who is the key planet in our solar system. So this is the year when we find a lot of people who are in very strong dictatorial positions. They will be very great, they'll be very strong in their expressions, and you might find a lot of dictatorship attitude from the heads of the state. Well, we have to maintain a calm, because as the number 2 will start showing its colors, the next year we'll find that the common man will also find its place. But this year we have to do with a lot of dictatorship, we have to do with a lot of people in high positions taking command. Now, as I was saying, that is this sun moving into the sign of Capricorn good for everybody? Well, it's good for everybody as I stated earlier, but it's good for few people who have a very prominent sun, say in Aries, when sun is for them in the 10th house, or even in Aries, it's very strong because sun is Uch, or very in its own, it's in its position of exaltation. When we talk about sun being in its own house, that sun is very strong too. So this strong sun will give us great results. It will give us an opportunity to think and give us results. For those people for whom sun is Digbali, that is in the 10th house, again, such a great sun gives us great result, because it's fundamentally very strong. You know, in India we have a policy: if you want some government work done, which the sun represents, then you cannot do without the Adhar card. So when I want some work done for the sun being the king, it will need me to attach the Adhar along. And in this case, what is the Adhar? The Adhar is a very small, very profound phenomenon which is known as Surya Arg, or giving water oblations to the Surya Dev. I have had so many people coming up to me and telling me the various variety of ways that they have innovated to give water to the sun god that it is mind boggling. However, I take this platform to break a few myths. So, are you giving water to the sun god properly? Well, the process is that you take up a copper of vessel which is full of water. Don't take up a plastic vessel, not even a steel vessel. It has to be a copper vessel, and then in that just the water. People keep telling me, can we add kumkum, can we add mirchi, can we add red chili powder, rice? Nothing at all. Simple water, and you place it above your head, looking at the sun, pour the water down, and it comes straight down. That is very important. Why? Because as per our shastras, we all know our technique, we've studied about this technique, but our Rishi Munis, they have known about it since time immemorial. This technique is known as refraction. When light passes through a prism, which a raindrop or a water drop acts like, it bifurcates into 7 different rays of light, and that is the reason why we get the rainbow after the rains. So when we pour water towards the sun god right early in the morning, and we see the small drops of water coming out, the droplets, unknown to us, those droplets bifurcate the light into 7 parts, and they energize the chakras in our body. As the chakras are energized, we are energized, we function well, and we do a great job throughout the day. So Surya Arag is something that every being should give, irrespective. The sun is, irrespective of our religion, irrespective of our caste, the sun is everybody's father. It provides us the energy to work hard. And so if you give that very scientifically, you will be channelizing the energy for yourself, learning to stay healthy. Let's move on to another part of it. So if you have the time and if you can, it's very important to do the Surya Namaskar also. Again, it gives you enough health, and it is your way of thanking the sun, the Surya ovulation, because it has given you an ability to proliferate on this planet. Wishing you all a very happy Makar Sankranti. Until we meet again, stay safe. Thank you.
Please hit the bell icon for fresh updates. Don't forget to like, share, and comment on the videos, and please subscribe to our channel.